Hello and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 14, with me, Stretch, and these two absolute weapons, Tin Ribs and Jim Jam. Now, Maidstone.
Yes.
Have to bring it up straight away because Maidstone went through to the fifth round.
Well, I'll talk about it.
Ipswich 2-1.
I watched the entire game while at a kids' party, which made the kids' party awesome.
Oh, right.
So basically, we're looking at that, and I'm looking for a bit of excitement, a bit of that, and what I saw was an absolute Ipswich onslaught, literally pummeling their goal. And I mean, their keeper, who was Cavaganari, however you pronounce it, sorry, butchering it, but he pulled off some cracking saves, some lucky saves, and Ipswich made some great chances. But then right at the end of the first half, the pure magic of the FA Cup happened, where Lamar Reynolds got through on goal, running one-on-one, and what a majestic chip over the keeper into the back of the net. And the scenes, I mean, to be one of them few 100,000 people, however many made the trip to Ipswich, got to celebrate
I don't think
that
it was
moment.
100,000.
Yeah. Not 100,000, 100 or 1,000. 100,000, not actually 100,000.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm sure there were 100,000 happy people watching it.
I'm fairly certain nobody expected a striker that hadn't scored in 26 games to score such a fantastic goal.
Yeah.
In such a high pressurised situation as well.
Yeah, and then unfortunately Ipswich ruined it by scoring a goal early on in the second half. Yeah, and he was playing well. The player that scored for them. I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
And then the magic happened again.
Yeah, goal scorer became provider.
He did, and in the end they survived the 38 shots. Well, 37 shots because Ipswich scored one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
So but Ipswich could not handle Maidstone's 2 shots. Just 2. Two's all it takes.
It is.
And they're in the fifth round with a draw to away day to either Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry City, whoever comes out of that replay. Well, good luck to Maidstone.
I had to make a note of that because I was very pleased that Maidstone went through. I've got nothing against Ipswich. I'm neither here nor there where Ipswich are concerned. I've got no feeling towards them.
No, not all.
But obviously, being English, I go for the underdog if my team aren't in it. And as my team have got a shite manager who doesn't seem to put any value on the FA Cup anymore, we get knocked out really easily. So as we're gone, Maidstone are my new club because they're the ones that I want to win it now because I don't really care about anybody else that's in it. Newport are currently in the 74th minute and losing 3-2 to Man United, which is a bit disappointing because they've not long equalised and made it 2-2. So very plucky performance from Newport, and even though they are losing, I'd like to give them a big shout out as well because they played really well so far.
They're having a couple magic moments, and sometimes all the fans need is a moment because there's nothing worse than going to a game, you lose 5-0 or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, that was the expected. Even scoring a goal is kind of like...
And the thing is they've had 2 equalisers as well, which has made them feel great. And to be fair, they nearly had another just. So there's no saying that Newport are not going to go up and score a third against United. And let's face it, this season, it's not like United not to concede 3 or 4 in a game because they've done it a few times, haven't they? They've messed up a good few times. So it's more than possible that it could happen. I suppose you never know. But yeah, the West Brom game.
So we're going to talk about
the behaviour of the West Brom fans because they
sore losers. Sore losers is all I can put.
It seemed as though they were just giving each other I obviously I wasn't there. I don't support West Brom or Wolves, and has been pointed out by some people that have commented on our posts and our videos, and we've had a couple of emails from certain individuals saying, oh, it's about time you got yourself to a game. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to buy fucking Premier League tickets as it stands right now, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, right? So, no, we don't go to every game. What a shock. Hence the reason we're called Sunday League Pundits, and we don't consider ourselves to be Premier League Pundits. We're not there every week. Get over it. Like, if you're not adult enough to realise that the 1% of fans that make it into the stadium leaves 99% of fans that support a club that can't get into a stadium. The fact that we're part of the 99% seems to make our opinions less valid. Just don't fucking watch the clips because we don't give a fuck whether you're here or not if you've got that attitude anyway.
And to be fair, we're watching more than our own team, so it's not like we're just judging going, oh, Southampton,
and to be fair, we do go to games.
We're trying
I'll go and
give our opinions on the other teams,
I'll
aren't
go
we,
and
as
I'll
well?
buy tickets and I'll go and watch Macclesfield play. I
Yeah.
have been and watched Stafford Rangers play. I've been and watched Walsall play. I'll go to watch games. It's just very hard to get Arsenal tickets. And as Tim Hibbs and I were speaking earlier about potentially getting Leeds tickets for the next game if they're at Villa away, it's going to be next to impossible.
Yeah.
Like, unless you go and like literally mug somebody. Oh, there's already in the queue. You've
probably got more chance of going to Southampton, Liverpool, and
of course, but it's so hard to get tickets now. And the fact that there's people out there that aren't adult enough to just accept the fact that, okay, let's say, just pick a random number, let's say you've got 5 million people on the planet that support Leeds.
Just don't ask Alexa because she won't answer you.
She's ignored me fucking constantly today. So I'm actually getting really irritated. You'll see if you go onto Facebook, Sunday League Pundit Show, on the Facebook page, we went live to do the Everton shirt drawing. It was actually Alien J that won it. But twice I've spoken to Alexa today and she's just ignored me. It's like I don't speak English anymore, which, to be fair, I don't blame you. But let's say Leeds have got 5 million fans. How big's your stadium? What do you hold?
It's 38.
38,000. Let's say you've got 1 million fans in the world. That's still less than 1% that are getting into the stadium. And people are criticising the people that can't get into the stadium. Do you or do you not fill your stadium out week in, week out?
Absolutely. The season ticket waiting list is currently something like 15,500.
So how are people meant to get in the stadium?
Yeah. Same with the Villa.
And I wasn't going to mention any of this, but honestly, it just fucking irritates the shit out of me when people go, well, you don't go to the games, you don't do this, you don't do that. Over 99% of people that support teams do not go to the stadium because they can't get tickets. So if you're not adult enough or grown up enough to realise that, just don't comment. Just don't bother. Save your time, save your life. It's precious. Scroll past. Just ignore it. Hold on. Play the music. So welcome to episode 14 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. We've been doing this for a long time. It's over 3 months we've been doing this now, boys. I don't know if you realise that.
Can I retire and take my pension now?
No. we still need you.
So somebody's leaving.
Somebody is leaving.
At the end of the season.
And do you know the amount of abuse I got on Facebook? Now, Jurgen Klopp has come out and said that he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. I came out and did a quick live video on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
At the time he got sacked.
See, because I'm so down with the kids, I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, you haven't got TikTok. We know you haven't got TikTok.
I saw it.
So when they're updating enough, generous for TikTok. But I just put out a quick one saying I'm certain everyone's heard, but if you haven't, Jurgen Klopp's leaving. Now I put a post on Facebook underneath somebody else's post. It was like a reply to them saying it wouldn't surprise me if Jurgen Klopp came out in the next 12 to 18 months and saying that he was ill, he wasn't well. Because I don't understand why somebody so popular would leave a club playing so well and still on the up, and the abuse I got off a Liverpool fan saying that I was disrespectful and it was uncalled for and I was being petty. And I'm like, I've literally just said Liverpool are playing really well and they're on the up.
Hang on. So we're talking about the manager who's been in the job longest with least success. 9 years.
Yeah, but the thing is...
Hang on. 9 years and 4 trophies. I just want to point out here, as good as he's been, and he has won a Premier League, he's won the Champions League so far, 9 years and 4 trophies. Name one other manager who's been in a job 9 years and won less. Or anywhere near it.
Dario Gradi.
Who?
Cruise manager. He was there for about 18 years.
All right, let's talk... No, I'm talking about big clubs. Not sitting in the middle of...
Wow. I hope Mansfield doesn't listen to this.
Yeah, I don't care. League One. Stuff it. Anyway, no, but my point is, Ferguson was there 23 years, won 38 trophies. Yeah, okay, that's why he's got longevity. Wenger.
Well, how many trophies has Klopp won?
4.
Well,
In 9 years.
Wenger won 7 FA Cups.
Yeah.
But
Not including leagues. No, and this is my point. So everyone's talking about how good he is, how great he is, how he's fantastic, and he's the next best thing.
Well,
But,
by memory...
Hang on. You're banging on about how good he is. In 9 years, he's achieved 4 trophies. Everybody else with that kind of time at a club has won more. Especially at a club like Liverpool, or Man United, or Arsenal, or Chelsea. Let's take any of these clubs. Anyone who's been at a club for a substantial amount of time has won multiple trophies, multiple leagues. So can we actually honestly say that he's the next best thing since Shankly? I mean, Jesus Christ, they're comparing him to Shankly.
No, they're not. They're not. They're saying he's their all-time great.
Yeah, Shankly is.
No, they're saying Klopp is their all-time great. The thing is from memory, now I may butcher this, I may get it wrong, but from memory, he's been there 9 years.
Yes.
And he's finished 8th, 4th, 4th, 3rd, 1st, 2nd, and 4th.
Yeah.
And then whatever they finished this season. So Liverpool used to berate Wenger because he finished 1st, 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 2nd, 1st, 4th, 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 4th. Because he was... Well, Klopp's finished 8th and 5th and 4th and 2nd, but he's the greatest ever.
This is what baffles me.
So then Arsenal fans will go, well, borderline, Wenger's the greatest manager in our history. Borderline, because I know Herbert Chapman was ridiculous and he won like 5 trophies and he won 5 leagues in the 30s. Herbert Chapman.
I'm going to back up Wenger on this one, I actually think.
I personally would go for Wenger, but I see where they're coming with Herbert Chapman. He came up with floodlights and he came up with white spectator-friendly footballs because the brown one was too difficult to follow, in his opinion. Changed the name of Gillespie Road to Arsenal, the tube station. He was the reason we got promoted from 2nd Division to 1st over Tottenham in the 30s, which is part of the reason why they hate us. So he had a lot to do with Arsenal's history as well as winning trophies.
I was going to say this, though. That's like, I'm going to bring up the likes of Don Revie, Busby. They were innovators and they changed things for the best. Now, with that said, trophy-wise, Revie is our most successful, so I don't have it. But Sir Matt Busby will always be known as one of Man United's greats. But no one would ever turn around and go, it was better than Fergie, wasn't he? No one's better than Fergie. No. You see what I mean? So you can't. So
as much as we all dislike Man United, Ferguson is the greatest manager ever.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is trophies speak volumes. Now, being someone who renovates or innovates or changes is one thing. To actually win and maintain is a different thing entirely. So I am going to say, for Arsenal's case, Wenger is the best.
I'm with Wenger.
He genuinely took a team. He implemented amazing salary caps. He kept his team in control. His financials were amazing. He didn't run them into the ground like Ridgedale ran Leeds into the ground to try and chase the dream. He kept the dream alive through very rigorous, implementation of budgets, wage limits. No player gets over 70 grand. He said, if you can't live on 70 grand, you don't deserve to play for the club. And he's got some of the best players in the world at the time: Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp.
I think
but that's
epitomised for me by the Nicholas Anelka saga.
Yeah,
because we signed him for 250 or 350,000, right? And he only wanted to leave because his brother kept saying, "You'll get more money elsewhere. You'll get more money elsewhere. Go." We then sold Anelka for 23.5 million, and with that, we bought London Colney, where we now train, state-of-the-art training stage, and Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
So when you've bought a player for 230,000, 250,000, and use that 250,000 to buy Thierry Henry and a training complex,
good business.
It's not bad going, is it?
But this is what I'm saying. So going on that, we can understand people replacing the legends, the classic, your heroes, the Busbys, the
it depends who's behind them as well, though.
No, but what I mean is Chapman's, Busbys. We can replace them with the Wengers and the Fergusons. Klopp, really? Just that.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Klopp anyway. I don't like his attitude, and I don't like the way he is, because I find him a bit of a fucking crybaby, if I'm honest.
You know what I'd love? There's another job opening up at the end of the season. Barcelona.
Yeah, and Xavi.
Xavi announced it.
Has he done that because he wants a Liverpool job?
No, they're saying it's Alonso's. Leverkusen have already stated they won't stand in his way, and in an interview a few years ago, he stated he must play for Liverpool. Be the manager of Liverpool.
So Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, they're going to right. So
yeah, but Steven Gerrard's been a failure, apart from Rangers.
And look at what Alonso's doing. Alonso is an absolute class manager.
Yeah,
coach. He is, and if he comes across Liverpool,
I mean, I saw another post. I think it was on Talksport actually, who said it's very difficult to replace a manager like Klopp, right? And the reasons were when you replaced Ferguson and when you replaced Wenger. So they're literally comparing Klopp to Ferguson and Wenger, which I think is laughable anyway. So when you replaced Ferguson, obviously he struggled.
Yeah.
And then when Emery took over from Wenger, he struggled, even though he's clearly a bloody good manager because he's shown that at Aston Villa. Nobody can deny that Emery's very good manager. And he learned English within about fucking 6 months or something ridiculous. It was crazy. This is another thing that pissed me off about the Arsenal fans at the time, is they made such a thing out of the way he said good evening. And there was this massive piss take throughout all the Arsenal fans. This is our manager that's coming to take over from our greatest ever. And Arsenal fans are taking the piss out of him from day one. What is wrong with AFTV? Is all that's wrong with social media. Social media is an amazing tool. Right? I've got no family that live around me. They live miles away, Manchester, and Telford, and Australia, and literally miles away. Half of them in London, and the real Newcastle up on time, not fake one down by Stoke. So my family's all over the place. So I keep in touch with them via social media. It's an amazing tool. And then you get bellends like that just use it for the most ridiculous bullshit. Pretty much like what we're doing at the moment.
I was going to say, what's the difference?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like if I just came to a point where, well, if everyone's doing it,
can't beat them, join them.
You know, I've got mates that I talk to about football, and our opinion's just as invalid as everybody else's.
Yeah.
And if everyone else can put their invalid opinion out there, why can't I put my... It does make me laugh, though, because I've said shit like this a lot. And then people will message us going, yeah, but your opinion's shit. Yeah, I know, I've literally said that on the podcast.
Mate, I went to the shop the other day, and there was a guy chatting. He worked in the store, right? So, and I've gone there. I literally felt like for the 2 minutes I was there, I was having a conversation with Stretch. The bloke was saying the exact same. Oh, I turned to shit. Why have we gone for Reyes? Tottenham looked at Reyes. They realised how shit he was, and they didn't want him. I was just like, fuck me. Do you know Stretch?
Did you tell him about the past?
I did.
That's all right. Hopefully he'll be listening. If you work in the shop and you hate Raya, I'm already on your side.
It was hilarious. And he was like, what's his name? The one you got from Man City.
You mean Chelsea? You're on about Havertz?
No, it's a Zinchenko.
Oh,
he was like, Zinchenko, what a fucking waste of space. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it is talking.
It's not wrong.
No, it was just hilarious. I've gone to bloody co-op and I'm stood there talking to a guy who's literally talking the same stretch. I'm like, well, at least I know he's not the only Arsenal fan who thinks this.
Yeah. But
there's two of us.
But
watch out.
But Barcelona are struggling in their bit. They just lost to Villarreal. And they're currently 10 points behind.
Well, they better hope they get the Super League up and running and fund themselves.
That's going to hurt, isn't it? But they're not.
But fingers crossed, Klopp goes to Barcelona, because I'd just love to hear the uproar from that. I can't see it happening.
I don't think Klopp's going to end up at Barcelona. At the end of the day, he said he's leaving because he's exhausted.
Yeah, he'll be out for enough.
But if he's not, if he's in the job next season, he just doesn't want to be at Liverpool anymore.
Yeah. And that's going to say a lot.
He's sick of the bullshit. He's sick of the fans attacking coaches. He's sick of the constant abuse. He's sick of listening to "You'll Never Walk Alone" because we're only going to burn your fucking shirts anyway. There's so much wrong with it. And honestly, and I know there's some decent Liverpool fans out there, because I have spoken to some. I've spoken to some genuinely lovely Liverpool fans that are quite down to earth. There's just so bloody few of them. Yeah. That it's infuriating.
You get that with a lot of clubs, though. You'll always
Arsenal. Have you fucking seen AFTV? Jesus Christ! So I'm not sitting here going Liverpool are the only club with a crap fan base, right? because we've got some of the worst. Like I've seen a lot of Arsenal Twitter lately, and oh my god, the absolute crap that they spout, just embarrassing. You get people going, "Oh, well, Smith Rowe, he should be playing because he's one of the world's best." He used to be before his injury. Give the guy a chance. He's got to get back on a pitch first. We don't even know if he's one of Arsenal's best anymore because he hasn't got the time or the minutes to prove it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just anyway, I get that most teams have fans that are just a bit deluded, but I just feel like Liverpool have got more than most, and they just fucking annoy the shit out of me. And maybe Klopp's just had enough of that. And he's got to a point where he's like, I'm just sick of him. That accent's probably pissing him right off every time he walks into the changing room, listening to physio and the trainers and all that, unless they're all from Germany or wherever else anyway.
Well, my recommendation on Facebook was Nathan Jones.
Is that because he destroyed part of your...
But, he's best in the world, apparently.
He's the best in the world.
Apparently.
Yeah. Not sure I'd have him down as the best in the world.
I think he'd do a marvellous job at Liverpool.
Yeah, so would Mr. Blobby.
David Hockaday.
Do a great job. I would take the piss out of Darwin Núñez, but he has scored today. So
yeah.
And to be fair, it was a decent finish as well. So I'm not going to.
Not too bad.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Phillips to West Ham.
Good signing.
I think that's a great move.
It is a great move.
I think that's a super
Him and
move
Ward
for
Prowse
both
together.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move for Phillips and for West Ham.
I think it's a great move for Everton.
Yeah.
I was not, because I don't give a shit whether Leeds win or lose. No offence.
No.
The same way you don't give a shit if Arsenal lose. But I was annoyed when Phillips left Leeds. Not because he left Leeds, but because he's English, and I knew he was fucking his career up by going to City.
Yeah.
And he could have been superb for England.
At least he got like Premier League winners medal.
Yeah, but for what? Is it worth it when you're not? Footballers are like, I mean, I still play football now. I'm fucking fat and I'm in my 40s, and I should have stopped playing long ago. But I still play football because I love playing football. So surely these Premier League footballers started playing football because they love it. But they don't seem to, because they're happy to go to clubs where they're just sat on the bench for months and months and sometimes years. Look at Scott Carson. Are you telling me he couldn't have just dropped down a couple of leagues if he wanted to play football?
Scott Carson's just happy just to be a backup.
So he's
and
not
that
a
sort of
footballer
thing.
then? Surely
No,
you want to
he's-
play.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he's earning a yearly salary a week. He's
a token player for them.
but goalkeepers have a different life, don't they? Let's be honest.
Even as a keeper, I'd want to play.
I'm sure he's loving it. I'm sure he's enjoying
But
it,
what's Scott
training
Carson
and
now?
stuff.
36.
Not sure of his age, but
I mean,
He might even be older than that.
I would say he actually might be more my age. But you think about it, he's sitting on a bench, he's earning a big fortune,
he's winning medals. He's playing
medals.
with
Yeah,
the best
that.
players in the world.
Yeah.
He's probably playing
Ross
football
Turnbull's
every day.
Ross Turnbull was the same at Chelsea, picking up trophies.
He's just not
Champions
playing
League
the big
medals.
matches.
Yeah, but isn't that what you
But he's
want
playing every
football
day.
for?
Goalkeepers Union,
Mate.
you're all the same, you're all
I'd quite happily be a token goalkeeper for any winning Champions League team. I'll just sit there and play football, let in a few goals, never play a minute of football, first team football. I'll quite happily do that. I'll put myself out there.
I can't get my head around that way of seeing it. I just want to play football and if I'm sat on the bench watching all the guys running around playing the games, that's going to drive me mad. That is.
He's got Saturday off with his
He
family.
hasn't, because he's still got to sit there, hasn't he?
He's not on the actual bench though, is it? Because they've got Ortega as the second choice.
Yeah.
He's their third choice. He's literally the token.
I just think like
yeah.
if you want to play football, you want to play football. And these
But
guys are happy
no,
not
I
to
mean, like you say, Phillips going to Man City made no sense. It was like Scott Sinclair, great talent. I don't even know where he went after. I think he went to Celtic after. Don't know where he ended up with. But he was playing well for Swansea and was getting in the England side. He goes to Man City and he probably got fat and
probably got fat. Fucking hell.
and you know what I mean. But Phillips going to Man City made no sense. There were teams that needed a CDM, a quality one. I mean, Arsenal being one of them. Man United would have been another, but he couldn't go to Man United because his whole family would have been in big trouble. So he couldn't actually go to there. But I know that they did want him, didn't they?
Yeah. I remember where he went. He went out on loan to West Brom.
Yeah.
Then he went on loan to Villa. Then signed for Villa. Then he ended up at Celtic.
Yeah.
He played for Celtic for a while, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he went to Preston North End, and he's currently at Bristol Rovers.
I did not know that. There we go.
Who's that?
Scott Sinclair.
Scott Sinclair.
He's currently playing for Bristol Rovers, who are still in the FA Cup, may I add.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
There we go.
I played to him.
What else have we got? So, Port Vale fan, not very happy about a penalty, I believe. Comical clip.
I posted it on because I've got one Port Vale fan on my Facebook friends list.
Yeah. That's how I
his name is Craig. So I got this clip on my phone. I don't even know what caused it to come up on my feed because I don't follow. I mean, maybe it's the Macclesfield connection because they used to play them in the League Two. I don't know what it was, but this clip come up on my phone, and it was a Vale fan that was annoyed with the referee. So he come bombarding onto the pitch and sprinted from one side to the other, chasing the referee, and he was going to like.
But the referee,
and the rest like sprinting away from. So I just tagged Craig in it, going, "Was this you, mate?"
Yeah.
And so I don't know why it come up on my phone, but like I say, he's the only Vale fan I know. Sorry, Craig, that's why.
So we've had a couple. So we already mentioned the West Brom stupidity, and we've got one
insane.
Stupid. That's got to be
stupid, funny.
That's going to be huge for West Brom, that is, because I mean they're fighting for points and they're fighting for their games, and I mean the summer transfer window is going to be important to them. And if they're losing $1 million, $1.5 million in fines, that could be a full signing. Do you know what I mean? And the fans, you need to wake up, people, because the shit people are doing is just insane. Like, we're adults now. Like, albeit, like, I mean, I've mentioned that I put up a thing about Jurgen Klopp leaving, and I wouldn't be surprised if he come out and said he was ill, because I just don't understand why you leave a team doing so well. And it was the first thing that came to my mind. And for a guy to be telling me, "Oh, you're disrespectful, you're this," fucking grow up. Grow up.
No, you're not disrespectful. Now. I am by saying he's a fucking failure.
Is it disrespect or is it just your opinion?
Well, like I say,
it depends which way you want to look at it.
I mean,
if you see 4 trophies in 9 years at a major club as a failure, is that disrespect or is it just his opinion? Because if somebody went to Barcelona and won 4 trophies in 9 years, I fucking guarantee they wouldn't have been there.
Okay, let me word it like this. Jose Mourinho, the second he stopped winning cups at Chelsea, was gone, despite the fact what was it, 4 in 5 years or something stupid. Pochettino, PSG, he won 2 cups in a year, 2 years. They fucked him off. Well, they're both more successful than him immediately. Man United haven't held a manager for fucking. I mean, Jesus Christ, Van Gaal won the FA Cup and they still sacked him.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times at a few clubs, hasn't it?
It's happening all over.
The thing is, with Man United, it seems like there's a clause in the manager's contract where if they weren't making Champions League, as soon as that was 100% official, they sacked the manager. Now, I believe that had they stuck with David Moyes, he'd probably be doing all right there.
I think he's a great manager. You know?
Yeah,
he does.
I tell you what, though, going back onto the whole Phillips thing, Phillips is a proper David Moyes player.
Although I will quickly say we're about to find out which managers we respect and which we don't, because we have been set a task from last week, which I have completed. Did you include a manager?
I did.
Did you include a manager?
I did.
So we're about to find out what managers we actually respect that have not won the Premier League, because that was a task we were set by Darryl last week, is to set a team of 11 who have never won the Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have done it, as far as I'm aware. I've got a couple of subs as well as the 11, because we did.
You mentioned the 8 subs, so I sort of fluffed out a little bit.
I think I put 8 subs.
I don't know how many subs I've got. I've got.
It's more honourable mentions.
Don't worry about it. It is more honourable mentions, but I've got my first 11 and a manager, so we will find out which managers we've got that respect for, and which one we'll go into that into part 2. But yeah, I think what we're going to do then is we'll quickly, because I imagine this team thing's going to take a bit of talking. So what I want to do is just very quickly run through our predictions
Okay.
from last week, just before we go to the break.
Short comment. Short one, this one.
Right. Leeds, Plymouth. I will say that nobody got any points.
I'm not surprised.
Not one person, because I went 3-0 Leeds, Tim 2-1, Jim 3-0, Jay 3-1, Daryl 2-0, Max 2-0. Mac, I'd have put my house on Max after fucking last week's performance.
Yeah, I was probably the closest. 2-1.
You actually were the closest, to it being a draw. And it was Leeds 1, Plymouth 1, so nobody got any points. What a massive fail
I do
that
believe
was.
you want to talk about that game after the break.
I'll mention it now. The most fucking boring game I've watched in a long time. I actually couldn't watch the second half because me and Zach were sat there. Eventually, me and Zach came in and recorded our pod, which is available on Patreon for anyone that is interested. I record a pod with my son every other week when I've got him, and honestly, we couldn't finish the Leeds Plymouth game. It was fucking boring as sin. So we didn't finish that.
Very frustrating from the Leeds fan perspective.
I'm going to claim that I'm closest. No, I'm not closest, actually, looking at it. There was 3 that were close to God damn it. Watford 1, Saints 1. I had Watford down as a win, and it was 1-0 to Watford for so long.
It was.
And I'm like, yes, I'm the only one that's got Watford winning it. I'm going to have this. And then Saints equalised quite late on, and that was really annoying. So Saints 1, Watford 1. I had it down as 2-1 to Watford, so I didn't get any points. Tin, you had it down as 3-2 to Saints. Darryl had it down as 3-0 to Saints. You had a 2-all, Jay had a 2-all, and Max had a 2-all, so you all get a point.
So for me, I'll quickly mention it. Very much a weakened team, which I'm pleased about. So having the replay doesn't bother me too much because it really was a weakened side.
Do you think it'll be a weakened side in the replay?
Somewhat. I think it might be 50-50. It depends if they want to. Because we've got Liverpool away in the next round, so it depends if he wants that game to go there.
I would, because they've conceded.
I'd hope so. I'd hope we go 50-50 with the next game. Okay. But he made the substitutions at the hour mark, brought on 4 first teamers, and that's what changed the game. Before then, it was going to be all Watford. It was actually a very un-Southampton performance, which doesn't surprise me from the team selection. Okay. Next game.
Next game was Guiseley versus Macclesfield, because Arsenal were not playing because obviously it was FA Cup week and Arteta's useless and doesn't value the FA Cup because he's a bell end. Anyway, Guiseley against Macclesfield, which surprisingly for me, everybody had that down as a Mac win, and I thought somebody would go against Mac. And I have to say,
did anybody get the right score though?
Yes, 2. Oh. And I have to say, there was a lot of blockages in the last few minutes of that game, the Mac Guiseley game. A lot of goal line clearances, a lot of bodies on the line, and Mac managed to come through and win 2-1 against Guiseley. I had it down as 3-0, Tim had it down as 3-0, you had it down as 2-0, Jay had it down as 3-2 to Mac. Darryl and Max both had 2-1 to Mac, so they both get 3 points.
Dear. He's going to be catching up big time.
Max, I know you're listening, Max. You're starting to irritate me. You're far too good at the game. And we don't like it.
Can we get his predictions first?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all just copy Max. It's been an interesting 6th week, which gives me 1 point, so I'm now on 14. Oh. Jim, who I will say, we've had to remove 2 points off Jim Jam last week, which okay. Jim's not bothered about.
No,
I did say
Tin was very much bothered about it, and him being wound up has been quite pleasurable because
that was the only thing you were impressed about. You didn't even give a shit about the points. You were just happy because he was.
Because I said Arsenal would only score because of an own goal, so I was never.
I'm fairly certain. I just said I'll give you the points if they score an own goal.
Yeah,
I didn't.
It doesn't matter anyway.
But anyway, they've come out and they've rescinded the own goal and given it to Gabriel.
Although, when you do Dream Team and the points have already been allocated and the goals change, you don't get given points.
We're not Dream Team, and I figured
it wound him up
after the anger that he went through,
taking them away.
I figured
just think of his face keeping the points.
Jim, you got 2 points this week,
so I'll just stay
where
I was.
Bonus points, Tim. Don't worry. It's fine. They're just normal points.
I just stay where I'm at.
So you're back on 17 from where you thought you were last week.
That's okay.
Tin Roof's got 1 point, which puts him on 13. So you're actually the loser out of the three of us at the minute. I pulled back last week.
I know.
Jay got 2 points. Good week for Jay. So he's on 11. Max got 4. I might just start calling him the irritation rather than Max. So he's actually on 11. He's caught Jay in 2 weeks.
Impressive.
I will say as well, we've done the live draw and Jay won the Everton shirt. So congratulations, Ailey and Jay. We will be arranging delivery and hopefully filming it. I can't see him having an issue with it. He's quite happy to get involved with the pod and stuff.
Yeah.
So I imagine he'll let us record him. If not, we can just abuse him on the podcast. So it's all good. Darryl got 3 points, which means that he's got 18. So Darryl's currently in the lead by a point from Jim Jam.
It's okay, as long as I'm winning out of the three of us.
Out the three of us, it's Tin Ribs that's now about to wear a Man United shirt outside Edinburgh. He's about to have. Hey, we all took a thing that we would just do whatever it was. I mean, we're not going to risk your lives, don't get me wrong, we're not. We may make you wear a United shirt, but if we were to do that, it wouldn't be outside Ellen Road. We don't want you
I'd have
dead.
to stab myself.
We don't want you dead. Yeah, you probably would, actually. So, yeah, we're going to go to a break now, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Hello, welcome back from the break. I think we're going to start with what we finished with. We finished with predictions from last week.
Yeah.
We'll go into predictions for next week. So, first game will be Bristol City at home to Leeds.
3-0 Leeds.
What's your prediction, Jim?
In there.
Wow, that was straight in, wasn't it? Not that you're predictable with your 3-0s, but you've gone for 3-0.
Yeah.
2-0 Leeds.
2-0 Leeds. At least we're a little bit more delicate than somebody we know. Only a 3-1 just to be different. Just have a little bit of faith in Bristol City. Not that I care. But yeah, 3-1 to Leeds on that one. So next game would be Rotherham versus the Saints.
3-0 Southampton.
Do you want me to just put 3-0 for the other one as well?
Ironically, yes.
No.
I thought you were
No, I'm not
going
going 3-0.
4 or 5 on the next one. Anyway, Rotherham Saints. I do think you're going to get the win. I do think you're going to get the win. And I'm going to go 2-0.
And I'm going to go 4.
4-0 Rotherham. Got you. That's a bit out there, that one. Right, so now we've got losers versus Liverpool. What do we think the score's going to be?
I'm not going to go first on this one. I'm actually going to think
Okay, I was waiting for the 3-0.
2-2.
2-2. You have fucking faith in Arsenal.
I don't know why, but
Well,
after your
that?
resurgence against Palace and my lack of faith in Arsenal against Palace, I now feel like having a lack of faith in them is going to be a bad omen for me.
Okay. I like the fact that you've got faith in a team that's got absolutely fucking no chance.
No, I haven't. That's the problem. I haven't, but I feel that if I don't...
Right, can you put Liverpool to win 6-0 then, and then maybe we'll actually get the win? What do you think it's going to be, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Do you want me to go first? Right. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, even though I think we've got probably a 2% chance of that happening. But I can't bring myself, as I've mentioned many, many times before, I can't bring myself to put Liverpool are going to beat Arsenal, even though I genuinely think they're going to, because I fucking hate them.
3-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. I think that's
Probably more
about
accurate.
right. I think that's probably
But
about
like I
right.
say, look at the Crystal Palace. Arsenal run an absolute fucking shit run. I thought, oh, Palace might actually do something here.
What did I tell you though? On the day of the pod,
Yeah,
I said to you, I've watched this team for so long now, so many years, and I'm telling you, Arsenal are going to beat them. I was just a goal out because Martinelli decided he was going to send his prime Thierry Henry for 5 minutes. I'm not quite sure where that came from, but them goals were superb. So I'm happy about it. So they're the ones. Jay, Darryl, and Max, I shall contact you with them 3 long before the pod comes out. So I don't know why I mentioned that, because they'll have heard about it anyway, because I'll be emailing them and letting them know. So now we're going to go on to our 11. This is a challenge that was set by Darryl. It was actually a couple of weeks ago, and one of us can't think which one it was, but one of us forgot about it for a couple of weeks until somebody else in the group reminded me and now we've done it. So we have actually done it, and Darryl set us the task of selecting our 11 and substitutes, and we decided to add a manager that's never won the Premier League. So we have made a note of them. Who would you like to go first?
Shall we? Are we going to go whole team, or should we do positions, or
Whole team?
Whole team? I'll go first.
You'll go first.
I'll go first.
Right.
So, my
GK. You got manager. We'll go
my manager first. So my manager. So honourable mentions to the managers that came
I
close.
didn't get honourable mentions for
Which
managers.
was Sam Allardyce was my honourable mention,
Okay.
but it was David Moyes that is my manager.
David
Maybe
Moyes.
not surprising what we
So
went
your
for.
manager's David Moyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So goalkeeper, Shay Given.
Given. Okay.
Yeah.
Left back.
Leighton Baines.
Leighton Baines.
Yeah.
Right back.
Francis Benali.
That'll be the Southampton in you.
Yeah.
One of your CBs.
Jamie Carragher.
Instead of putting Carragher, I'll just put the guy who spits. Okay. Next one.
Desai.
That's silly.
Yeah.
Okay. What formation have you gone for? I've gone for a 4-4-2.
Yeah,
I'll go 4-4-2.
I think most of the time when you sort of do these teams, you do a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of like
I think it's just because we're old school.
So
No,
4-4-2
if you actually look
is
at like even now when they like run like the championship team of the week and stuff, they tend to be 4-4-2.
Yeah, I'll be honest. 4-4-2 was better anyway. Left mid then.
Gareth Bale.
Bale. Right mid.
David Ginola.
Ginola.
See, I had him down the left.
I'll put Bale on the left though, so I
Wingers can go on either side. I don't even matter because Saka started as a left back
So did Gareth
when he
Bale.
come through.
Yeah, he did.
Then he went left mid. And now he's a right mid. So one of your CMs. Can I guess Letizia is going to be one of them?
No,
Letizia isn't one.
I'll put him up front.
I knew he'd be in there. All right then, CM.
Gaza.
Gaza. I knew someone would have him in. Yeah.
Modric.
Modric. For those that don't know, I'd just like to point out the reason he's never won the Premier League is because he plays for Tottenham. So yeah, one of your forwards.
Letizia. The
Letis.
obvious one.
I knew he'd be
This
in
is
there.
one I'm interested in.
And your other one.
Robbie Keane.
I was right with Robbie.
He's in my suspension.
Okay, so Robbie
Do
Keane.
you want a subs bench?
Yes.
So my subs bench was. So the honourable mentions.
Yeah,
basically.
essentially honourable left.
Honourable mentions. Number 1,
Nigel Martin.
Martin. That's fair play.
I'm guessing that's probably going to be Tim's number 1. Sammy Hippier.
Hippier.
Jason Dodd.
Who's good player actually?
Yeah.
There's the Southampton thing again. There's a reason we haven't thought about Jason Duff.
Yeah.
Gerard.
Shirt burning. Oh no, they didn't because they loved him. All right, Gerard.
Zola.
Zola.
Canio.
Canio.
Fowler.
Fowler, there you go. That's the Robbie I was thinking of.
Harry Kane, because he plays for Tottenham. Played.
Yeah, there's a reason Kane hasn't won the Premier League. Because he played for Tottenham Hotspur.
So yeah.
For those that didn't know. Right, okay. So,
I think not too bad.
right, you'd be surprised how many names are going to be repeated at this point. So, my manager, I didn't go for an honourable mention because, like I said last week, as soon as we mentioned we're putting the managers in, I said, I know who mine's going to be. I said straight away. And there isn't another one as far as I'm concerned. Sam Allardyce would be my manager all the time because I love the guy. I just think he's ace. I like the fact that he's underhanded, and I like the fact that he doesn't give a shit about it. I love the guy. I love him. My goalkeeper, Nigel Martin.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely loved him when I was younger. I thought he was a fantastic keeper. I was a keeper when I was a kid, although I hated it. And I love Nigel Martin. I thought he was great. Obviously, I love David Seaman and John Lukic, but Nigel Martin, superb goalkeeper.
Just a quick one on the whole Nigel Martin thing. Do you know when I fell in love with him? And it wasn't before.
This isn't going to be an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, it's very good. We were in the showers. No, seriously not though. I actually, you know, when you have those players that you see for another team, you just think, oh God, please one day just sign him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ian Wright.
He was in that game. Crystal Palace, Manchester United, FA Cup. Was it 3-3? And then it went to a replay. That 3-3. Have you ever watched it? Nigel Martin.
I've watched clips of it.
Nigel Martin was just absolutely phenomenal. Like, absolutely unbelievable. And I don't know why someone bought me it, but someone bought me, there was a video back in the day, and it was the full 90 minutes of the 3-3 draw, followed by highlights of the 1-0 rematch, because obviously the replays back then. And I watched that game loads, and I didn't give a flying fuck about the Man United Crystal Palace. I just watched it because Nigel Martin in that game was just unbelievable. And I fell in love with him at that point. So when we signed him about 4 years later, it was like literally getting your dream player signed for. It was like the day we signed Kasper Schmeichel. I could not believe we'd signed him. I literally jumped for joy.
Great goalkeeper.
Yeah. And it was like, wait, we're getting Kasper Schmeichel. This is unreal. So I actually fell in love with it. Nigel Martin is one of my all-time favourite goalkeepers before he even played for League.
Yeah.
That game settled him for me.
Nice.
My left back, honourable mention for Stuart Pearce, although he's not on my subs bench. I just wanted to mention Stuart Pearce because he was an animal.
I didn't think about him.
Leighton Baines, I've got as my left back.
Yeah.
Kieran Trippier as my right back.
Playing for Tottenham.
That's why he's never, that's why he's never won the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I just think he's great, and now he's at Newcastle. I don't hate him anymore. So
I think he won a La Liga though, didn't he?
doesn't count.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't count, but he won something. He left Tottenham.
Because he left Tottenham. Although Kane's taken the weather with him, and he's going to win nothing, is he? Centre back, Desai.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard that name before.
Yeah.
Paul McGrath.
Yeah.
Phenomenal defender. Superb. And I watched his son play football years and years and years ago, and he got the strongest left foot I've ever seen on an 11-year-old. It was just insane. Right mid, Ginola.
Yeah.
Left mid, Bale.
Oh.
I don't know if that rings any bells with you.
Yeah.
Centre mids, I've got Latisse and Alonso. And up front, I've got Robbie Fowler. And I have got one in there.
Player by any chance?
Hmm?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm going to change it, actually. I'm going to put Zola and Robbie Fowler up front together.
Okay, so who's going to your...
The one that's now going from my team into my honourable mentions is Suarez.
See, I did write him
just
down.
because he was so fucking hungry. Oh, do you know what I mean?
He won the Golden Boot the year he bit Ivanovic and was banned for 8 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. He was a phenomenal goal scorer.
He was a great goal scorer and a great striker.
He was hungry for
more than just goals.
Yeah, just hungry for more than goals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a problem.
Great player.
Honourable mentions, I've got Reina, goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Now Suarez. Ruud Gullit.
Yeah.
Les Ferdinand, who I definitely toyed with putting in the team. Gianluca Vialli, Robbie Keane, Gaza, and swims in spit, Harry Kane was the other one, because obviously phenomenal goal scorer.
I'm actually amazed at how many of my players aren't even mentioned by either of you.
Oh.
Right, so now we'll go on to Tim Lips.
So,
goalkeeper.
No, it's not with my manager.
I completely forgot about that.
Although he wasn't great in the Premier League, and he only spent 1 season in the Premier League, I'm going to give it to Brian Clough.
I mean, it's not a bad shout, is it? Let's be honest.
I absolutely love Brian Clough. He was such a character, and 2 European titles at Notts Forest cannot be snuffed at.
It's not a bad shout.
No.
So I'm going with Cloughie for my manager.
A bit underhand, but it's not a bad shout.
I'm going to jump to my subs bench for Nigel Martin.
Oh.
Because as much as I absolutely just think the guy's amazing, there's a goalkeeper who I've mentioned multiple times about possibly
I
being
agree with him.
one of the best in the world, like actually ever. And Neville Southall has to go as my number one. He was just unbelievable.
He was a good footballer.
So Neville Southall was my number one.
Left back.
Left back is Risa.
Yeah.
Gone for him.
He was, yeah, you wouldn't have gone for Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah, it was fun. You know.
Yeah.
We'll go with Fulham. Put that in brackets. Right back.
So Portsmouth player,
Johnson.
Glenn Johnson.
Portsmouth, Liverpool. My word.
I know, yeah.
What a guy.
You know what though? He was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He was one of the early sort of rush forward, almost wing backs. And Risa and Johnson, they both have that sort of overlap. They were just great. They were really good. So I highly rate them.
Didn't he take like a ridiculous shirt number at Stoke or something, like the number 9 or something like that? I can't remember. He took a proper attacking number, right?
Oh, look at William Gallas at Arsenal. He was number 10.
Yeah.
CB.
So I've gone with my first bias Leeds player in my team. In fact, I've gone with Lucas Radaby, the Chief.
He was pretty
He
good.
really made
I
my. When
I
we
just
did
want to
our
point
team,
out he was so
close.
good that Alex Ferguson tried to sign him,
He was a great player, to
Yeah.
be fair.
but he said that we don't ever play for one rose. So happy days. Showed the loyalty to Leeds that Leeds showed to him. So
Yeah.
happy
Fair
days.
play to him.
And my other one is a very overlooked and underrated centre back, in my opinion. I went for Philip Jagielka.
I don't mind. I wouldn't have him as one of the best.
I did look at Desai,
decent,
but at the
he was
time
decent.
my head was going on the whole. You couldn't have more than one, like X amount of players, and I kind of packed out with a few Chelsea players. So I thought I just need to. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, left mid.
David Ginola.
Ginola. So he's the only one so far that's in all three. Right mid.
Gianfranco Zola.
Zola. Okay. 2 CMs.
So my first CM is a little Brazilian bloke from Middlesbrough.
Janino.
Janino. He was
Yeah.
absolutely sensational.
I did look at.
I
that.
loved him. He was so entertaining to watch, and yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Part of that amazing midfield of Emerson, Janino, and then you had Ravanelli up front, and
Well, but he scored like a hat trick in the opening game of the season.
Middlesbrough. It was like, who's Middlesbrough? And then they just put that team out. You're like, oh my god.
Was it Liverpool they beat?
Yeah.
But opening game
Yeah,
or
that
something.
was a hell of a
That
team,
Middlesbrough
yeah.
team was phenomenal. I love that team.
It was a good
So,
side,
yeah.
to be fair.
So
Okay,
Ginola-
Janino.
Sorry, Janino.
Other CM?
Rude Hullet. How the hell you two missed
No,
Ruud Gullit?
I'd got
No, he
him in
put him
my,
on the
in
bench.
my
I
mentions.
just couldn't believe it. I mean, he was Ballon d'Or winner, one of the best players in
Yeah.
the world, and
I
Well, but he
did have him
wasn't
in
one
my
of
honourable
mine.
mentions
I've got
on
that
the
many favourite midfielders that he
I mean,
just
there is a lot.
wasn't one of my players that I watched.
absolute
I'm glad no
beast.
one's gone for Gerrard in the actual team.
Yeah.
I didn't put him on the bench.
Forwards.
Robbie Fowler,
Robbie Fowler's.
because we all know I have a secret love for him.
I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really good.
Okay. And your other one?
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Well, that's the reason I didn't go for him.
I think he's possibly.
Why didn't he win?
Why didn't he win anything?
I think he didn't win the Premier League because he's on for Tottenham.
Yeah.
I reckon otherwise we're able to pick
But I
ones.
think he's quite possibly one of the best strikers to ever play in the Premier League.
Yeah. But
I mean, I've got to say, as a
up
kid,
there.
I
don't know
did
about.
do a lot of Klinsmann dives.
I think everybody
I think
did, didn't
everybody.
Yeah.
He was.
I mean, if you look at the state of the pitches back then that we had to play on, it made it a lot more.
Easier.
It made it a lot more inviting to do the cleanse because you didn't stop. Once you'd started, you were gone.
It hurt in the summer months.
So we got Martin as your subkeeper.
So
who are your other honourable mentions?
So I've gone with a player who, through injuries and stuff, had his career ended very early. But I think he's one of the best defenders who've ever played.
Is it another Tottenham
He
player?
is, yes, Ledley
So it's
King.
going to be King.
He was
He was.
He was
good.
phenomenal.
He nearly made my first 11.
He was
by the way.
phenomenal. But
Yeah, he was
unfortunately,
close.
injuries.
Injuries and the fact he played for Tottenham, which is why he didn't win the
He
Premier League.
literally couldn't train performances.
I think if he hadn't had the injury career and stuff, he'd have moved to another club, and I think he'd definitely won something.
Yeah, I mean, they've had another player do that, haven't they, from centre back? And they have a club captain who, sure,
Sol, yeah.
But he left Tottenham
and
moved to another because he wanted to win trophies, and hey presto, he won trophies.
So while I was on the defenders, I kind of put Bale in there because
Bale
started as left back.
Bale, okay. Who else you got?
Moving into midfield, I have 2 Leeds lads.
Okay.
One who I think pretty much could have made the starting team, Gary Speed.
Speed.
He was absolutely amazing.
Okay.
David Batty,
who was fucking batshit crazy.
and then I've got JJ Okocha.
Yeah,
Great player.
I loved him. He was brilliant. Very exciting winger. Very exciting to watch.
He was super.
So unpredictable. And then up front, my 2 strikers were Viali. Because, let's be honest, amazing. I had to leave out Ravanelli to put in Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane's in all 3. Either on the bench or in the team. So there you go, Robbie Keane. The reason Robbie Keane
never won anything.
the Premier League is
He's played for Tottenham and Leeds.
So yeah, that was a lot of names repeated there. Robbie Keane's in all 3.
I think Zola and Jenna are in all 3.
Bale's in all 3. Leighton Baines made 2 of them. So.
Yeah.
I knew mine would be the odd one out.
Martin has made all 3.
Should we quickly go through Daryl's team?
Yes,
I did. I had to send that to the other guys because obviously I used my phone for recording.
Just
so
see who.
I can't get my phone out.
I think there are some similar ones on there. How far back have we got to go? It would have been last week.
Oh, Miles, because Tin Ribs keeps sending
yeah, sorry. I've got it here. So
you've got it.
In goals, we've got Brad Friedel.
A decent goalkeeper.
Fantastic.
Can't argue with
that.
Yeah. Left back is Leighton Baines.
Oh, there you go. Baines again.
Right back, Coleman.
Decent right back. I wouldn't have him as the best, but decent.
2 centres, Ledley King and Jamie Carragher.
Yeah, King and Spitman.
Yeah.
Midfield, Letitia and Tugai, Blackburn player.
Yeah.
I can understand why he's put Tugai in because he's a Blackburn fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
His right wing is Zola.
Yeah.
Left wing, Steve McManaman.
Oh, boo.
Steve McManaman was very good. He was very, very good.
Boo. I'm going to stick with boo.
It's good to have some different
Strikers is interesting though, because there's a reason why these 2 never won the Premier League.
Kane.
No.
Klinsmann.
No. Jermaine Defoe and Les Ferdinand.
Oh, Les Ferdinand was in mine anyway.
Yeah.
There's a reason Jermaine Defoe and Les Ferdinand didn't win the Premier League.
And he's got some honourable mentions.
Okay.
Mark Noble.
Great player.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is Kevin Davis from Bolton.
Yeah. Another good player, neither of which would have made my team, but good players nonetheless.
A. Hughes, Villa. UC Askelainen. I'm up for that.
He was decent.
Yeah. David James.
Yeah.
Gerard.
Yeah.
Gerard who? Yeah. Gary Speed.
Yeah, Gary Speed.
Robbie Fowler and David Ginola.
Ginola and Robbie Fowler's made all of them. Right?
Yeah, literally, yeah. And so, didn't Zola make all 4 as well?
Yeah, Zola's made all 4.
Yeah.
There's certainly some players there that have got obvious respect from
multitude of
and, like Zola and I mean Ravanelli, as much as he wasn't in mine, was Janino. So I never even thought of Janino, but what a player he was!
Yeah.
Like he was sort of one of the first Brazilians to come over, and you look at and go, "Oh my god!" To really sort of stand by. He was also, I think, he was one of the first to come over that just had the one name.
Yeah. Him and Emerson, same team.
Yeah, and they just come over and you're like, oh, who's this bellend that's just got one name and he plays football? And you're like, okay, yeah, if you want one name, mate, you can have it.
He
We're going to
was.
play like that. Jesus Christ, come join us. I bet. Wasp player though, yeah, absolutely superb. So it's I mean, it is all down to personal preference and teams that you like, teams that you don't like. For like Harry Kane should probably be most people's starting lineup because he just scored goal after goal after goal after goal. It's just
I kind of want to add fun. I don't want to put the same players in.
Yeah.
All
I
the
also
time.
went for the whole. These are players who will never win the Premier League because they're all
Yeah.
retired. Like with some, there are still if you're picking players who are currently available, there's still a chance they could. And then that fucks
yeah. I mean, I don't think Kane's going to win the Bundesliga with a team that's won 11 years running. And who's the guy that's gone over there that's going to fuck it up for them? Granit Xhaka is currently top of the Bundesliga. If you can't beat a team that he's in, you're in trouble.
I don't know that team. I mean, they're unbeaten as well. 19 games unbeaten in Bundesliga.
Ridiculous.
But there is only 2 points in it.
Yeah.
Because they did draw the last game and Bayern won the last game. And they play each other on the 10th of February.
That
so
will
very
say a lot
soon.
about this season, I think.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I would absolutely love Kane to go over there and win nothing the season.
It would be
because
beautiful.
he basically left Tottenham to get guaranteed trophies. That's pretty much why he's left and gone to Bayern Munich. To go and get a guaranteed league title, a guaranteed cup, which he lost on day one. Against Red Bull, brilliant. Or beaten by an energy drink, superb. It just honestly, I watched it. I've got no interest in any of the German trophies whatsoever because I don't give a shit about German football. If I'm honest, I'm not really that bothered about it. But because it was Kane, because it was a final in his first game, I was going, oh my god, please just don't win it just because it's Kane. And they got battered. It wasn't even close. Like that game was all Red Bull.
Yeah.
And I watched it. And I just thought this is absolutely glorious. I hope I watch this for the rest of the season. What I didn't expect was for Bayern Munich to actually struggle for the league title. Because it's basically something that hasn't left their trophy room for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And then Kane goes over there and is like, hold my saliva. Goes over and he scored more goals than anybody. Like, he couldn't have done any more to help them. What's he scored? Like 20 goals in 20 games or something? 20 goals in 21. It's a ridiculous stat anyway, isn't it? The amount of goals that Kane's got. And they're still not first. In a league that they've dominated for years. So I think that's absolutely hilarious. And long may it continue. I'm not like you two that think it'd be funny if Tottenham won a trophy after he left. I don't see the humour in
Yeah,
that
you
at
don't
all.
see the humour in it
No,
because purely on the basis that you're an Arsenal fan. I just think it'd be absolutely hilarious if they won something. He leaves to win things and then they win something. It would be.
Well,
he
it makes
doesn't.
you.
Yeah.
If it makes you happy, it doesn't look like they're going to win anything.
No, it doesn't look like anything. It does make me happy, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
So, we ready for another challenge?
Have we got another challenge?
We have got another challenge. So it's a challenge from myself this time.
Oh.
So
Jam is setting us a chat. Daryl, are you listening? Because you get involved in the chat. Max?
Yeah.
Hey, DJ?
you can join in if you really want to.
In fact, anyone who listens who fancies a go,
Yeah, anybody.
join in,
I'm
please.
happy. Our email address is sundayleaguepundits@outlook.com. Anybody can send it through and we will read it out. And if you even want to get involved with the predictions, Max has proved in 2 weeks that you don't have to be doing it long to be beating us because we're useless. We're absolutely horrendous. Max has come along in 2 weeks and he's already caught us up. So anybody get involved with the predictions because you can still win it at this rate, the way we're going. So, right, challenge for next week.
So it started off by the thoughts of that, like a one club man, but we're going to call it a loyalty special.
Right, okay, so
So the stipulations are
loyal players.
they've got to have at least played in the Premier League once to start off,
At least once, okay.
and have played for the same club continuously for 10 seasons.
10 plus years with no break, no loans, Are we adding loans? Are we
We'll
not
add
adding
loans in this.
Yeah, but
So
period.
you're allowed a loan
Yeah,
because it could be a youth that's been there.
For example,
Like Bale when he was at,
yeah,
or Beckham when he was at United,
Yeah.
he went on loan to Preston, didn't he, for a season? So we're allowing the loan and
Yeah,
not,
we'll allow the
because
loan.
he's still technically contracted
Yeah.
to his parent club.
Yeah.
Loans allowed. No break, but loans allowed, okay? And they've got to be there for 10 plus years.
So the school, so the academy stuff, the reserves doesn't count. It's when they've made that Premier League.
So it's from when
appearance.
they make their Premier League debut, or from when they make their team debut.
Team debut. So if he started
Team
in the
debut.
Championship, it still counts if he then moved on to the Premier League.
Team debut, they've got to be there for 10 years, at least played in the Premier League once.
So we'll give an
Yes.
example. Kevin De Bruyne, he's in his 9th season, so you can't have Kevin De Bruyne. Sorry.
Can't have Thierry Henry, I think he only did 9 years.
Yeah. So
I think he did
just to clarify, say Blackpool had a player who played in the Premier League that one season that they were there, but was played for that club for 10 years. Can you take them?
Yes.
yes,
Okay. Even if
and that's why I said as long as they
so,
played
at
in
some
that
point
Premier League.
in that,
So as long as some point during the 10 years,
Yeah.
they've played in the Prem and just been
they don't
at
have to have
that
had
club
the
for 10
debut
years.
in the Premiership.
No,
No,
they
no,
could
no,
have started in
no.
League Two.
So I just so I can clarify for
Yeah.
obviously myself, but also everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's allowed. They can have done 9 years in the Championship and then 2 games in the Premier League as long as they were with that club for the whole year of the Prem. They're good to go.
Yeah.
So I can have a look at that. Could be a bit of a challenge, that, actually.
You know what's
I
going to
don't think we'll do a manager because there's not many managers.
Really, I've already picked my manager. I've already picked.
You two have got Ferguson and I've got Wenger, so let's just put that down already.
Manager's easy.
So the manager goes without
Yeah,
saying.
unfortunately,
doesn't
Dario G never made it to the heights of the Premier League.
he didn't. So yeah, right. Well, I'll send that out to Darryl because I know Darryl will want to get involved because he does. So I'll send it out to him anyway. I'll send it to Max just in case he wants to get involved.
Might be something he wants to get involved with.
Yeah,
in
you
the
never
future.
know.
He might want to set us a challenge.
He may
We
want
love
to
a
set
challenge.
What,
at some
like
point, so.
Try and beat me on a weekly basis.
To be fair, he's already set that challenge, and we're not doing very well.
I know.
At all. Actually, we're doing really badly. So, if you have made it this far, then you're probably insane. But we appreciate you and we love you loads. We shall be back next week. Thank you very much for listening.